Hello everyone, welcome to 0018 for the second 8 weeks of Spring 2018. My name is Robert Schaller. I'll be your online instructor. So in this video I just want to go over how the course is going to be handled, some important things like midterm exam, final exam, and grading, and communicating with me, and what your assignments are in the course. So when you log on to SCF Connect or into Canvas, that is how you'll access the majority of the course. You'll see this course MAT0018. This is your CRN number 20704. There's also a lab component associated with it, but rather than have you go to two different places, everything's going to be contained in this one shell right here. So when you log into Canvas, click on this course, and you'll see a couple things that will help you get started in the first week, and then you'll see a week-by-week breakdown. Now these will generate as the due dates unlock, so it'll keep you on pace throughout the course. Because this is an online course does not mean it is self-paced. You do have to stick to the weekly schedule and the weekly due dates, so you can't just do it at your own pace. There are due dates that you have to abide by. So first thing you're watching is this video under the course orientation. And again, this will just kind of walk you through everything in Canvas. After this video, watch the My Math Lab orientation, and that'll break down into two parts. First part telling you how to log into My Math Lab and all the stuff that comes with it. And then the second part will walk you through like a quick example of how to do the homework. The syllabus can always be found here, so read through the syllabus. I'm just going to briefly hit a couple key points in this video, but please read through it, make sure you understand everything. The syllabus is kind of like a contract between the students and the teacher. Basically, it's your way of saying, hey, you never said I had to take an extra exam because it's not on the syllabus. Well, I can't force you to take an extra exam if it's not on the syllabus. So this is just basically what we stick to throughout the course. Now, my office is not technically in the Bradenton Math Office Department. This is just the main office for the Bradenton Math Department. I am actually an adjunct, so I don't have an office. This is also not my phone number straight to my desk. This is just the main phone number to the math department. This is definitely my email, though. So email is the best way to get in touch with me. You can email me through this official SCF email, or you can even do it right here in Canvas by just going to the inbox and creating a new email and typing it to me. I check both those emails regularly, like twice a day at least. Office hours, if you do need to talk to me, we can set up some sort of virtual office hour if need be, or possibly a phone call if something something needs to be discussed. So just email me and let me know. Course description, just basically this is saying that it's a developmental course, so it's not for college math credit, but you do need this course in order to move up the ladder. This course is going to lay out the foundation that you need moving up the ladder into the higher courses like 0028, 1033, and of course whatever you need, college algebra, stats, any of those courses you take later on. The lab that's required, it's already built into your schedule. There's nothing extra you have to do about the lab. Like I said, I designed this course so that's all built into this one shell. Textbook, you do not have to buy the actual textbook. The only thing that you need to buy is the My Math Lab software, and you can buy that in the bookstore using your financial aid or your own money, or you can just buy it straight on their website. I think it's a little bit cheaper if you go directly to their website and purchase it with a credit card or a debit card. I think it'll save you a couple bucks. This is the most important thing that you need right here, the Schaller 15732. That'll be the code that you need to register for this course in My Math Lab. So this is the only thing that you need. You can come back to this video and reference it or jot it down real quick right now. But all lowercase, no spaces, and then just those 5 digits afterwards. You'll need that number just to register for this course in My Math Lab. Materials, don't get fancy. Basic calculator will do. You'll use that for the final exam and throughout the second half of the course. Try not to rely on the calculator for the first half of the course, because that's where you're learning how to do the material by hand to get the general concepts down. And then later on in the second half of the course and in future math courses, then you can rely on the calculator for some of that stuff. But you need to know how to add fractions by hand before you do them with a calculator. So again, nothing fancy. If it costs more than $5, it's probably too fancy. Just know that you can't use your phone as a calculator on exams or in class or anything like that. So get out of the habit of using the calculator app on your phone. Yeah, it's helpful in a pinch, but try and get a calculator that you're comfortable with and practice with it so that when you take the exams, you know your calculator and you know what you're doing. Let's see, speaking of exams, there's 2 exams for this course. They have to be taken in person. They can't be taken online. There are 2 exams that must be taken, pencil and paper in person with a proctor, but you can take them on campus. The midterm exam, it's a 1-hour-long exam. It's scheduled for Monday, April 9th at 8 a.m. And there's a final exam that is scheduled for Monday, April 30th at 8 a.m. The final exam you get 2 hours for. They'll both be on the Bradenton campus in room 123 of the math building. That's building 27. So make sure you're prepared for those, and you just show up. Really just need, bring an ID and a pencil. We'll provide, all the paper you need. For the midterm, you can't use a calculator. For the final exam, it's in 2 parts. One part you can use a calculator, one part you're not supposed to use a calculator. So be mindful of those exams because they're actually a pretty big chunk of your grade. For instance, the midterm exam is 30% of your grade. The final exam is another 30% of your grade. And then the My Math Lab, those are the weekly assignments, basically the homework that you'll be doing. I tried to make that worth a little bit more, so that's worth 40% of your grade. So hopefully if you're doing the My Math Lab, which as you're doing the My Math Lab, you get an unlimited number of attempts. As long as you're completing them by the due date, you can keep retrying those problems until the due date to get 100% on all those assignments. So typically that helps students, pick their grade up, and then they don't have to worry so much about those exams, because exams can be very stressful. So if you have a really good My Math Lab grade, you can miss a few questions on the exams and still do fine, still get an A. One thing to note about the final exam, you have to complete the final exam with a grade of 70% or higher. So, for instance, if a student has a perfect 100, they got 100 on My Math Lab, they got 100 on the midterm, and now they're sitting down and they're getting ready to take the final exam, and they get a 65 on the final exam. Even though they've gotten perfect hundreds on the other grades, and that 165 technically won't pull them, down below a C, if they don't get a 70 or higher on the final exam, I cannot give you a C or higher. So even though your final grade may look like it's a C or a low B, I can't put that on your final grade. So remember, you have to pass the final exam with a 70% or higher, no matter what your grade currently is. So keep that in mind. Take the final exam seriously. Some students get all the way to the end of the course and they think, oh, I've got a really good grade. I don't have to study that hard for the final. Well, yes, you do. You need that. And we're not doing that to be mean. We want to make sure you guys have retention. You're retaining the material. You're not just making it through the 8 weeks and then, dumping it all out of your brain. You need to hold on to that information for the next course. Attendance-wise, since we're not really in class, the only thing you have to keep track of is make sure that you're doing something on the weekly schedule. If there ever is a time where you don't complete any assignments for a week and you don't email me and you don't communicate with me, then I have to drop you from the course. So you must complete at least 1 assignment each week to stay enrolled in the course. And that's just department policy. So again, it's not a work at your own pace course. You can't skip 2 weeks and then make it all up. You've got to be doing everything during that week that it's due. Canvas access, you've already got that. Email, I think you got that. Again, read through this. I broke down kind of like what the weekly procedure is. So my Math Lab assignments will be due every Sunday at 11 p.m. And then I open them up a little early in case you want to get a jump on it. There's things about electronics, withdrawal policy, plagiarism, all this stuff. This is more kind of like politics that we got to get into. If you have any questions about this stuff, let me know. There's some tips. There's the official address, and then at the very bottom you'll see the weekly schedule that I have set up. So the weekly schedule breaks down which sections you have to do in the My Math Lab, and there's also some study guides that I made for the midterm and the final exam. You can complete those. Those aren't for a grade, they're just for your benefit. So study those study guides when it comes close to the midterm and the final exam respectively. And then they've also got the important dates for the exams on there. So let's go back to the main page. So you can always click on Home. That'll take you to this main page that breaks everything down for you. There's a grades thing that you can keep track of your grades on here. There's really only going to be 3 grades on there, the My Math Lab grade, the midterm grade and the final exam grade. One thing you do have to complete by the end of the first week is the syllabus quiz. Now, it is not for a grade. It won't affect your grade, positive or negative. It's only 4 questions, and you have an unlimited number of attempts. You can do it as many times as you want. It's just some basic questions in there to make sure you guys read through the syllabus and you understand it. One of those being, hey, what's my email? I'll give you a hint. It's not mathdude@math.math. And then making sure you know the MyMathLab code, and it says a little something about that final exam grade. You have to complete this for attendance purposes. If you don't complete this within the first week, you run the risk of being removed from the course. So again, because I don't get to actually see your faces, I can't mark you off for attendance for financial aid purposes and all that good stuff. So if you complete this, then I can see that you are active in the course, and I can mark you as present. So make sure you complete that syllabus quiz by the end of the first week. It is due on March 18th, so it's due by next Sunday. And then, like I said, the weeks will open up throughout the course. If you click on the week schedule, there's nothing fancy in there. It just tells you what you need to do, and then it links you straight to MyMathLab. So you can click on that link, or you can just have a separate MyMathLab page open. You don't really have to check Canvas that often. I would check it at least once every other day or once every 3 to 4 days maybe, just in case I post an announcement. But typically you're just going to be going to MyMathLab, completing these weekly assignments, and MyMathLab software will tell you when these are due and keep track of your grade and all that good stuff. I think that's about it for this video. Towards the end of the course, you'll see the instructor evaluations. Please leave me some feedback on those. Again, this is an online course, so it's a little difficult to, be in your presence and communicate with you and get feedback. So this is a good way for me to get feedback. Be it positive, be it negative. Just make sure it's constructive. I don't get to see who wrote what. It's all anonymous. So take a couple minutes at the end of the course to fill those out. Other than that, any questions, you can email me directly through Canvas, and I usually respond within 24 hours. You can also email me through your standard student SCF email. Make sure you're using your actual SCF email to communicate with me. I'm not allowed to respond to anything else like Gmail or Hotmail or any of those. It has to be from an official student email, and that's just part of the whole privacy policy. So let's see, I think I hit up everything I wanted to. If you have any questions, yeah, let me know. And in the next video, in the MyMathLab videos, we'll talk about how to go through the assignments and work on all that stuff. And I will see you soon.